do?
Well, for the longest time, I didn't have one.
Uh-huh.
And so for years, when I graduated from college, I was very aimless for many years. I tried this job and that job. I was a high school teacher at one point. I sold art. I've sold real estate. I worked in a magazine. And every single step along the way, I took the job or the opportunity because it was there,
Yes.
because a friend of my father's presented it to me, or because I stumbled upon it. And I found that my life seemed unfulfilled at one point, and I realized that in hindsight now, looking back, it's because I never had intentionality behind any decision that I made. I was like, oh, okay, this sounds good. Let me go try this. And so I was very aimless. And the way I related to purpose was like it was this huge, big thing that some people were lucky enough to find.
Yes.
Like Mother Teresa,
right?
She had purpose. She had this big, large scale purpose for humanity, right? But I'm just me, I don't have that. And so I would see people that were very purposeful, and I was envious, and I would relate to them like, you're so lucky that you found your purpose. And here was I so unlucky because I hadn't found mine. And the shift really happened when I started to make the distinction between finding a purpose and choosing a purpose.
Yes.
And once I started to get intentional about what my life was about and why I was here on this planet, all of a sudden, all the stuff that I had been really focusing on, achievement, success, salary, position, title, all these things were way less important because now I had this purpose that I chose. I didn't find it, I chose it. And that was a big distinction. That was a big aha moment for me. And the funny thing was, once I did that, my business started to grow. My career started to take shape. I started making money. So all those things that I had been wanting, but I was chasing before, finally started to come way easier once I was really clear about what my purpose was.
And that makes sense because purpose has to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it has to be that first step. Because if you don't have that purpose, it's like opening the gateway almost, right?
Well, yeah, I'll say I agree with you, and I think there's one step before purpose, and that is identity.
Oh, yes, for sure.
So without a clear identity, that's why I was all over the place. I couldn't have purpose. I couldn't choose purpose because I didn't know who I was. I had built, and so many of us do this, like I had my identity, I had created it from the grades I got in school, from the way my parents related to me, the way other people saw me. It's very an external process, outside in, instead of inside out. And so once I started to explore who am I inside, and I started to get clear about my gifts, my strengths, I did personality testing, I started to explore coaching and all this new stuff. This was all new for me. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a person who loves to explore. I'm really curious. I like freedom. I don't like to be told what to do. So once I started to own who I really was, instead of trying to be who I thought people wanted me to be, all of a sudden I started to get much more grounded and centered and clear, and that's when the purpose became much more clear for me.
Yes.
It's
like that in so many things in life.
Yeah.
You can't help others until you first help yourself. I mean, that's a major one, isn't it?
Totally.
And looking online, I mean, you have been, and my hat is off to you, you have been so instrumental in helping entrepreneurs, business professionals, all of that, all over